the Premier League ever been more challenging?
Will you be in the dugout at Old Trafford on Sunday? I will be here. Definitely.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go, people. This is the second live stream of today, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Mufc Realist TV, also co-streaming on Mark's channel. And this, of course, is a revolutionary. This is Ruben Amorim's second press conference in charge as a head coach of Man United after that 1-1 against, Ipswich Town. And he actually gone out to say that I'm not going to spend time talking to the press too much. I'm just going to focus on managing and training the squad and team. But in anticipation, guys, we're going to cover this live. Ruben Amorim is about to speak to the press in about 15 minutes. And we got you live. And of course, most of us are interested in what happened against Ipswich, who's going to start, who is fit. Will it be some really, really good answers and questions like the first press conference? Guys, I want you to do me one thing and one thing only. As this is a free content, please do not forget to like and subscribe.
And Garnacho!
Whoops, that was the wrong button. Shit happens anyway. We are the Flying Amorins, and of course, the Flying Amorins consist of me, Mick Roby, and of course, I'm waiting for Mark Nurse to come in here and have his say. As per usual, Mark is always late because late is his middle name. Mark Late Nurse. Mark Late Nurse. Maybe he pulled a hamstring on his way, but he texted me, Mick, I'm running. The fire alarm is sounded in the VR room, and Mark is kind of running to the show. So big up for all of you for coming in. Who is in the house? Worth a shout out. Anyway, we have Jarle Malmin, the early bird, coming in here to say, great news. Maguire and Leach are both back in training. Jarle, funny that you mentioned that. I actually saw a clip just right now about them kicking a ball. So, looks like Leach and Harry Maguire. Slabby is back in training. This means only one thing, injured. We have no injuries at the moment, right? We only have Lindelof that's injured. Yes, and Euro and Evans, what you also continue to say, was missing from today's training. Lenny Euro. Well, hasn't kicked the ball yet, Lenny, but we are excited to see Lenny Euro. So take your time, son. He'll recover, and hopefully you make a very good impact for the remaining of the season after Christmas, perhaps. Don't tell me Euro is injured again. I don't know what's going on. Welcome, all of you. Mark is sending a Secret Santa message. Welcome, all of you, to Football Legends. I immersely hope that you are having a great start of your day. Ask a small favor, please like and share. Let me reach 3,000k. Yeah, if you are tuning in on Mark's channel for his birthday on Sunday, please do not forget to smash the like. If you're watching on Mark's channel, 100%, he will coming in very soon. Smash the like, smash the like, smash the like. Can we get our minimum 100 likes of this stream today? I don't know. It's free content, and all we really ask of you for tuning in to support the channel is the YouTube algorithm. They like that little fingers. Looks like this. You have a finger, smash it right now. Finger that little like button, please. And certainly will help the algorithm to promote this channel and the content to other equally important fans. Well, guys, we did a cover this morning, me and Sal Warner. If you missed that content, early morning show with me and Sal Warner, go and watch it. It was a beautiful podcast, 1 hour long. We spoke about the meltdown of Pep Guardiola in City and the 150 charges and everything else, and what's going on around the transfer market regarding Manchester United, and also Ruben Amorim assessing certain players that probably not going to fit in his 3-4-3 system. If you missed it, go check it out. It was really, really, really fun and enjoyable morning brew. And speaking about brew, are you fully loaded like I am? Guess what I'm drinking here in this cuppa? It is a double shot of espresso. Oh, let that sink in. Double espresso. Ruby loves coffee. Coffee loves Ruby. Cool. Let's go. He said, what? No, I don't know. Joe Blackman. Big up, man. How are you doing, Joe Blackman? Chunky Day, what you saying here as well? Hi, everyone. Smash the like. 100%. What you saying here, Joe Blackman? Pay your entry fees. Drop the like. It is 100% free. You know the game. Blackman, you know the game. Sosa's in the house as well to say, what you saying here? You don't look like Mark. No, I'm not Mark. I'm Mick Ruby, by the way. So basically, if you're tuning in on Mark's channel, I'm Mark's evil twin, joined by the hip. So today, now you're stuck with the ugly one, or potentially the beautiful one. And Sosa, for your information, Mark is coming in. He's very late by standards. Casimir is in the house to say good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you, Casimir. Whatever, guys, you're tuning in the world. I mean, some people like me living in Thailand right now, the time difference is massive. 7 hours ahead of UK. It is almost 10 to 8 my time. But here's what we do. This is Man United. We sit here in rain, sunshine, thunderstorm, snow, thunder, lightning, earthquakes. We always make sure that we are broadcasting to you community. Hi from UK, Casimir. Big up. He said, what? Finger that like button. Yes, I said that. YouTube algorithm, please forgive me. Or should I start singing the Bryan Adams song? Please forgive me. I don't know what I do, but you stuck with me. Joe, I hope you enjoy that finger like button. I'll do it again. Finger it. It's free. 100% from UK. Joe, you are from UK as well. Listen, guys, I want to hear from you. Anticipation. We saw that Sky Sports shambles with the post-match interview, and Ed Sheeran crashed the party. Oh my God, Sky Sport, you know, do you really want to talk to Ed Sheeran? He goes, I don't really want to. And after that, he came out to say and plead to the communications department of Man United. So please don't put me through this shit again. I'm here to train the team, and I've been spending more than in 1 week speaking to the press than I actually did in Sporting Lisbon. So hopefully this will be a jam-packed, dynamic 15 minutes call with him. Yeah, did I, Joe? I'm sorry. Did I put some dirt in my thoughts? I don't want to even go there. Mitesh is in the house with a big smile and laugh. You liked that little joke, didn't you? Yeah. Well. Reba, Joe. I don't want to go there. 100%. Jack Reacher 885, Mark Smarter younger brother. Actually, well, thank you for the compliment. I'm not so good with compliments, guys. You know, compliments rinse like, you know, the Matrix, like Keanu Reeves. Have you seen that? Like dodging the bullets. This is your compliments. I'm just dodging them. But I say thank you. Sosa in the house saying Lisbon is not United. He's better to get used to the press. Well, beat the press, man. Because last time when we played Ipswich, we didn't have a press up front. Mark is in the house. He just pulled in Raw, and apparently the greatest break is news that Mark pulled his hamstring and ass string as well by getting in here speaking to you. There was a fire alarm in the VR room, and Mark was the one that set it off. But here is on popular demand, Mr. Mark Nurse in the house.
Big up,
Mark,
everyone.
what's the excuse now? I'm always bantering you. Mark is always late. It's like, you know, the Trinidad Tobago time. Yeah, man. Like, you know, if you say on dot, you're always 10 minutes late, right? Right.
I mean, sometimes, but you know, today I was actually going to be late all the time. You know what I mean? I was actually coming home, so I had to go and collect our package. So I went and did that, and I was on the way home, and I was like, "Oh, I have like 5 minutes, but I know I needed to, you know, get ready." So big up to everyone joining. I hope you all are all excited, just like we are, for the manager's press conference. Of course, Amorim is going to have a lot to say, and we all know how very suave he is. I enjoy him speaking to the press, to be honest.
Me too, but I got a one serious question to ask you, Mark. Look me in the eyes. Tell me what you see. You talking about Chinese mail or packages, or was it number 2, number 1? I got you there. Look at your face.
Bro.
Oh, bro, I
went
got you.
to UPS.
I got you. UPS. Now, Eminem in the house, fully pledged, up and raw, uncensored. If you have children, cover the ears, because we are here. Things that you don't want to hear. Well, we want to hear Ruben Amorim speak. Mark, you and your co-host, Channel 906, the move Sherlock Holmes' smarter younger brother I see. That must be to you, Mark, because compliments don't stick to me. I just did a Matrix, like, you know, with the bullets flying like that, and I do a slow motion, and I pass it on to you. Here's the compliments to you, Mark. Anyway, you deserve your roses. You're on the road to 3K. If you're watching on Mark Nurse's channel, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't. We certainly on Mufc Realist TV, have enough subscribers so we can donate to you, Mark. Now it's Eminem in the house. Like I used to say, I am the peanut M, and you are what are you?
I mean, I would say I'm the. Well, you say you're the peanut, so I had to be the chocolate. I mean, relevant, right? I mean, I can't get any different.
And speaking about chocolate, today is a Kinder Surprise potentially. Like, you know, you got the juicy, beautiful chocolate, but what is the toy in today's?
There's
Kinder
people who have
Surprise
never
egg?
seen the Matrix. Really?
Really? All right then.
Really?
All right, we're here to guess it up.
I mean, they have to be going to
question,
elementary school still, though. But you know, the Matrix is something must see.
Listen, okay, screw the M&Ms. Let's talk about Kinder Surprise. Kinder Surprise, because today will be kind of a Kinder Surprise. You know, Kinder Surprise eggs, right? It's a nice chocolate to consume. It's a little bit of a chocolate, but what's inside it is the toy inside. What are we going to get today, Mark, in terms of Ruben Amorim's press conference? What do you think the press is going to ask?
I didn't hear what you said just now, my bad. I froze for a second. I froze for a second, so I didn't hear anything.
Okay, I have to repeat myself. Okay, we spoke about you and me being in the M&Ms. Like I'm the peanut, you're the chocolate. But in today's press conference, we are staring at a Kinder Surprise egg. You know the beautiful chocolate. Yeah, you get a little bit of chocolate. I mean, but what's more exciting is the toy. What you're going to get inside that you unscrew. What do you think we're going to get? What kind of questions are we getting today, Mark, in terms of Kinder Surprise?
Well, this is going to be a big question that definitely is going to come. I didn't even know Euro wasn't in training. I feel like I fell off a loop in the last 24 hours, you know what I mean? But to be fair, I would expect them to ask questions of, you know, what will he do to improve from the last performance? What changes that he think he should make? You know, maybe what players, will there be rotation? I heard that there's going to be rotation wholesale, to be honest. So let's see how it goes. Let's see if those questions are asked. Let's hear what he has to say. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Mateta, I know you're upset about Eriksson, but for me, for the next 10 games, whoever the manager start, I don't care. I just saying it for everybody. I don't care. That's just me. I don't care who he starts.
I don't care either.
I just hope the performances improve, and I hope everybody learn their jobs. Because, you know, he did say everybody's going to play on some different positioning and different, you know. So people might play out of position or be doing different things than they were normally expected to do. So it might be a different situation for them. So we have to be a little bit patient. It's only been 2 or 3 training sessions before that first game. Now we have like 2 more training sessions to add to that possibly, because today's Wednesday. We have a game again on Sunday. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting situation. We have lots of games, little time to train, and he has to do a big job, and everybody need to be a little bit patient with him. So I look forward to hear what he has to say.
Well, we are about to start the press conference. It's about to kick off live, and beautiful speech, Mark. So let's find out very, very soon. I don't want to play it as of yet, but we have the manager's press conference coming up against Bodö Glimt. Here we go, people. Let's add this to the stage. Let us hear what they have to say. Okay. Add to the stage, people. It's about to kick off. It's about to kick off, but there's still some jingles.
You know, not Bodö.
Bodö. It's Norwegian. Bodö Glimt. Yeah, but they're not pushovers. They are leading.
They're a good team. They're a good team. They're a small team of fighters. That's what I could say. Small team of fighters.
It's loading. Live press conference starting soon. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they have some technical issues with microphones and everything. But for copyright reasons, we are not going to show everything until 10. Did I almost say Ten Hag? Ruben comes in and sits down, and hopefully, like, listen.
Well, Ten Hag, yes.
Now, it's a must-win game. What Sosa is saying. Will Man United aren't going to the game tomorrow. Big up, Willie. He's going to the game tomorrow. Yes. Let's go. At least Ruben doesn't self-harm himself like Pep.
Will,
yeah, we did the same. Yeah.
Where's sitting, Will? Where's sitting in the game tomorrow, Will? Which stand you in tomorrow? Tell me.
Oh man.
Don't be there. Pep. I'm going to be there as well.
Pep, you have a big scratch on your nose. What's this all about?
Who's that?
Yeah, Pep Guardiola from yesterday. Pep, big question.
Pep
you have a big scratch on your nose? What's that all about? I want to hurt myself. I scratch my
Bro,
nose.
Pep
my
was
God,
moving
that guy.
906 settings, bro. 906 settings, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Bro,
I think it was
that
rather
guy's lost his
interesting.
mind. He's lost his mind totally. He was cuckoo. Like the way he walked out from the press conference
Bro.
with this weird quirky eyes, and you know, he looked like he's got rabies as well. Like, you know, he's got the saliva drooling down. I want to hurt myself.
I mean, I would be, if I was him, I would be absolutely going up crazy as well. You know what I mean? To be honest. I feel like, yeah, he's be following me at the fish and chips, you know, because I be going to get fish and chips when I go to the game, and I feel yeah, he's be there while he in Sweden, while he's supposed to be in Sweden. But you know what I would say is that this, right? You know, to be 3-0 up against a team and then come back on at the end of the game 3-3, it's
despicable. It's despicable.
I mean, this is Man City, a team that should have what, 2 starting 11s. Because they have a starting 11 on the bench.
And just because you have Rodri injured, you don't have a solution. Well, if you look at the entire bench and the squad that they have, you got to find a solution. That's just kind of tell me that he's exposed. I mean, the way he's been managing Barcelona, you know, Bayern Munich and City, he just walks in the ready-made players. Just go out and press play, pretty much. But if you do have injuries, that's where boys become men, 100%. You can arguably say that he's the best manager or coach existed, but then you have to look at what kind of resource do you have to play with. I would like to see Pep Guardiola manage a Brighton, for instance. Like, you know, seriously.
Big up to Sal. I would like to see it. You know, the last time, right? I had the same issue with the game. I was trying to do the press conference and I was watching this thing saying it's starting soon for like 15 minutes. I hope this is not the case today, to be fair.
Yeah. Everyone is loving the Pep meltdown, 100%, I would see. And big up to all of you. Pep, what y'all is saying here, has been a manager for the same team for too long. It's now showing. The cracks are coming, I would say. That, you know, we saw that meltdown even with Klopp that final season. It got to his head. But however, we did some breaking news that Premier League are about to recess. It's been 2 weeks, you know, pause, but they are now going in for the final plead hearing. So they look to decide the case of the 115 charges before Christmas. And believe it or not, this is Premier League versus Man City. And if Premier League loses, I would say that will be the end of Premier League. So I don't think they will lose. And 115 charges, man, come on. If Everton had 2 and you know, if you had to look at Newcastle, they got points deduction, but this is 115 charges, mate. 115 charges. There's got to be some smoking gun in there.
Has to be. I mean, to be fair, so many charges, I can't see them not having some kind of fault somewhere that put them in a precarious situation. You know what I mean? And I'm not just saying that because as a Manchester United fan, I mean, the reality, and the team their owners show that they want to win. And in one thing, what I can say is that when they show that they want to win, in the way that they show they want to win, you could only realistically say, well, bro, they did what they had to do. And fairly enough for me, I could say that I would like our owners and our team to do the same thing, but in a way that we have it more sustainable because we have a fan base to prove that we could sell the merch or sell ourselves to that point. I just think that at the end of the day, you have to keep it within a relative perspective because not every single club in the Premier League has the financial capabilities. So not everybody going to have a billionaire owner. And that's the realistic thing that is keep the Premier League so interesting because a small, tiny club could be in the Premier League fighting with the big guys. And if you allow billionaires to run that kind of way like City, just spend unlimited amount of funds, then these tiny clubs will disappear.
Yeah, true that. But there's some beliefs I see. I mean, we all want to see some resolution, including to Sousa. I know what you're saying because money talks and you think that they will get away with it. And of course, they have lawyered up and sued up and everything. But by the way, so has Premier League as well. They've thrown abundance of money in because This is the sheer existence of Premier League. Like, you cannot cheat. And of course, there was this, you know, they even lost the case about them being able to sponsor themselves. And, you know, obviously, I would like to see a resolution, right? Because we all know they've done it. Even UEFA president said, we know we're guilty. They used the time bar stamping in the, you know, arbitration court sports law in Lausanne, Switzerland, until was no way to hide. And they basically handed over all the evidence to the Premier League and in the what they call it, independent governing body, where you can't overturn and overappeal. So now we see a fast track coming and a resolution hopefully before Christmas. So maybe that'll be a Christmas present what all Premier League fans are waiting for. But we are kind of waiting for the for the press conference to start soon. I don't know, they have some technical issues. It's still loading. Maybe they have some technical issues. But until then, Mark, what do you expect from tomorrow's game? I mean, are you expecting a whole you know, rotation? Are you expecting to see Leach coming back in? Are you expecting to see some form of changes, knowing that we are playing on Sunday again?
Yeah, I expect to see wholesale changes. To be honest, I would say it like this: I expect players to perform well. I expect to see players from maybe who didn't play in the game on Sunday last come in and start this game and provide a different opinion, a different option, you know, different perspective. Because at the end of the day, all these players should have one goal, and that's to make Manchester United win. And the coach need to see the players play, maybe in various positions. Some different players play the positions as well to determine who he's going to keep and who he's not going to keep. And that is the only interesting thing I could say, because to be fair, you know, a lot of these players, in my opinion, they have to step up, and it's not about us getting the best out of them. It's about them giving their best to us.
Yeah,
you know?
Unfortunately, I mean, if this is the future of playing the 3-4-3 system, then a lot of players will not fit in this system. Like, they're not adaptable. And we covered this morning, me and Sal as well. We talked about Garnacho. I love Garnacho to pieces, but where does it fit? Guys, press conference is about to start, and we will find out what Ruben has to say. Here we go.
Welcome, everyone, to our press conference for our Europa League game against Bodö Glimt tomorrow. We will start with Simon.
Bruno is with him.
Harry Maguire and Sandro Martinez back in training. Are they available for the game tomorrow night?
Not Harry. Licha is ready. He didn't stop too much time, so I felt that he's ready. It's a different situation with Harry. We need them both, but they are in a different situation. They are both training. Harry soon will be on the pitch also.
And just quickly also on Lenny Yoro, when do you think he'll be available to make his debut?
No, he's available to train, but we are working in his fitness. It's important. He's a young guy. This is a massive club. It's very important, the first image. So we'll try to put everything together, because he's a great talent. We believe a lot in him, and we are trying to prepare the best way to start with Lenny.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Just wondering how much you're looking forward to coaching at Old Trafford for the first time.
Yeah, everybody said to me that it will be a special time. I just want to win the game, you know, just to give that happiness to the supporters. Before the match, it will be like a new sensation, but after the whistle, it will be one more game, and we want to win that match.
Obviously, the win's key, but are you looking to rotate the profile of the players and some of the?
We have to do it. We have to do it, especially in this moment, because we have a lot of games, and we are in the beginning of something. They have to feel that they are part of the team. So they are international players. They will rotate, and we will try to manage to try to win every game, and not just focus on this game and try to just have an clear idea how to play, and everybody has to be on the same page.
Ruben, you said on Sunday that the players who didn't play were going to train. Do you end up, if you do that, kind of splitting the squad almost, and then it becomes more difficult?
No, they are already split, because if Bruno plays tomorrow, he cannot train for 2 days. Even the day before the next match, he cannot train, just slowly. or jogging. So they already split. What I'm saying is that some guys that don't play in the next day of the match, they will train. They will have an opportunity to real train, to have a real training session. So that's what I meant at the time. Some guys will play, some guys have the opportunity to have a training session. In the next game, we will change positions. Some of the guys will fill the game, and some of the guys that don't play will train in the next day. That's all.
Light training.
It's the first time we've spoken since change of manager. You said at the time that you'd spoken to Erik ten Hag and the players had to take some of the blame. Is that still your view? I mean, obviously you're moving into a new era now, but it's a lot of change and the season has not gone the way that you would have imagined it would do.
Well, obviously, if you change a manager mid-season, it's because the things are not going as you want. And if the things are not going as you want, everyone has to take the blame. Obviously, everyone in their department. But as I said before, it's easy to get rid of a manager than 15 or 20 players or whatever. But now our focus is on what the future can bring, and get as soon as possible and quick as possible on the new ideas of the new manager.
Bruno, I've got a question for yourself. Obviously, your time at Manchester United, you played in many different roles, from obviously central attack, you made to right wing and so forth. In terms of playing in the front three, is there anything in terms of your own personal game that you feel like you may need to change to adapt to the system, or do you think it'll just be a smooth process from that perspective?
You can ask that to the manager.
No, but that is a good question. Come on.
No,
it's a good question.
You always have to adapt to different ideas, different positions. Even sometimes playing in the same system, you have to adapt to different ideas of playing on the ball and off the ball, because the manager can ask different things. So it's not difficult for me to adapt in any position. I'm really aware of what we do in training. I try to absorb everything from every position. Obviously, it's not possible to get everything, but I try to be having an understanding of the game. Also, because being the captain, sometimes the manager can give the message from the bench to the pitch because of the noise or whatever, and so you have to be able to try to solve the situation together with your teammates, and knowing or having the knowledge of every position, kind of what movements they have to do, what kind of pressure the manager wants us to do, and that's a little bit also my role. Anton.
Hi, Ruben. You talked about sort of getting used to being Manchester United manager, and yet on your first day, your first game, you've had an apology from Ed Sheeran. How does that sort of show how different and weird it is being Manchester United manager?
Yeah, especially in Portugal. Here you are used to see that, but in Portugal is so different. I think you sometimes overcomplicate things. Was nothing. Was a simple question or say hello to one of the commentators. You call it commentators. So for me, it was nothing. I just was thinking about the game. And I was with Joaquin. Joaquin is a real star in that panel. So so for me, it was really, really okay. It was nothing special.
Take a Norwegian question. There. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Ruben. You described Jose Mourinho as a mentor for you. He's obviously had his encounters with Bodö Glimt before. Have you spoken with him about it or taken any notes?
No, just the results. And I'm expecting a very good team. They can win the league this week, I think. They run a lot, and that is a very good thing for us in the moment. We need to improve that. So we know that in this game, we have to run a lot. They have some special players on the wingers. They can play on the pockets very well. And they have that aura of winning games. And this is also because they are winning all the time. So I'm expecting a very, very intense game, a very good game. And I hope to see different things, improve some things that we didn't do so well in the last game. So it will be a good game.
Next year.
Yeah. Hi, Ruben. Bodö Glimt has a very important match on Sunday, and the coach Kjetil Knudsen has said that they might rest some players tomorrow. Do you believe him, or do you think he's bluffing?
I don't know. I'm not thinking about that. I'm just focused on improving our team. Winning a game, the first game in Old Trafford, we need to feel that momentum. It's important when you are putting an idea. If you win, it's a big help. So I'm just focused on our team. I know the players and the way the team plays. They will not change because one player is going to be out. So I'm just focused on winning the game and see different things in our squad.
Hi, Ruben. After the game on Sunday, you said to us that the team would suffer for a long period as they get used to you and your methods. From your experience of previous clubs, particularly at Sporting, how long do you think it will take before the players are adapting sort of effectively with your system and your methods and getting the way you want them to play?
It's hard to compare things. I think we are in the different level. You can say that this is a different league, so it's harder than in Portugal. But I also have more experienced players, and all these guys play for national teams. They just need to increase his confidence. And at the moment, I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know how long, but I will know that with a lot of games, without time to train, it will be tough for me, but it will be tougher for them because they are on the pitch and they will suffer a little bit. I will try to help, and we have to manage to win some games and try to increase that idea in the team.
James. Hi, Ruben. You said after the Ipswich game, I think you gave the example of Johnny Evans. He was a little bit confused. He didn't know whether to come and press. So not specifically about Johnny Evans, but just generally, are you surprised that top players like Bruno and the rest of your squad are not able to work it out in a game situation? To take that example,
Gary.
Sort of press a player because that's the obvious thing to do. Does that surprise you?
It's not a surprise. It's different things, and I have to be careful. I really understand that when I name some players, I'm just explaining the situation, and I have to use, to be clear to you guys, I have to use the names of the players. But I don't feel that Evans was not confused. Evans had to make a long run to catch Hutchinson. I was explaining that, and sometimes it's hard to help Matis, and then to jump on Hutchinson. I just explained why we had some problems, especially in the first half. So it's nothing about the players, about the idea, it's about me. But they are improving, and they did some things. They did some things that I was happy about it, but we have to improve in different things.
I just have one follow-up one. You say, and I understand that you've got an idea and this is how you will play. I completely understand that. So are you saying that there will never be a tweak to your formation? You might play a 4 at the back. You might. No. I mean,
we will do it. We have to do it. And when I talk about our structure, you don't know it very well, but I believe we can play in different systems. So we defend more in this game, sometimes in 4-4-2, because Ahmad was with the left back. So we want to put the structure before, and then we have to play in different systems, because nowadays every team changed the dynamics. So we will adapt that. We're just starting with the beginning, and then after that we will start with different things. But I think our structure is the power of this structure is to change the formation in each game.
Question for Bruno. Flex.
Bruno, for you, how difficult is it to take on new ideas, new instructions when you're so used to doing something one way? I'm not saying you're old, but
Flex.
But for yourself, you've been playing a certain way. You're very used to certain things, and you're very experienced. So when Ruben comes in and maybe has different demands from you at this stage of your career, how easy is that for you to follow through versus maybe when you were younger and you were less experienced but more open to different ways of playing?
No, I think probably could be worse for the younger players, because for me, I know very well what the players of Sporting were doing. I know exactly what they were doing in their positions. So not because I was reading what the manager was doing there, but because I was watching their games. And obviously, at the stage of, as the manager said, we are international players. So every time we go to the national team, you probably play in a different system. And for example, when I go to national team, sometimes we also play with a back 3. And sometimes I play as a 10. Sometimes I play a little bit deeper. Sometimes I play a little bit wider. So already in the national team, I had that experience of the manager with a formation, like the manager said about, we play with a 3 at the back, but then you rotate and then you end up playing different ways. You press them in one way, you defend in another way, you attack in a way, then you always have to move. And in the national team, we do that a lot. So I don't think the age should be a problem, either older or younger. It's about carrying the most you can from the dynamics and from the players you have around. And then I think every training session try to get something from the game and understanding what the manager demands from us. But at the end, as the manager said, you don't need to overthink things. You just have to know that we have a base, a foundation, and from there on, you still have to play and do your game.
Neil.
Ruben, this club hasn't really had a recognised consistent goal scorer, maybe since Zlatan or Lukaku. Do you see that's what this club needs? Because you left 2 strikers on the bench on Sunday, you played Marcus up front. It's got a lack of goals. Is that the major concern?
No, of course, there is a concern in that, but I think we have to improve as a team because we have quality players that can score so many goals. But you can feel it in the second half. We controlled the possession of the ball, but we were not dangerous. Maybe because we spent the week trying to work on build-up, and then the rest was not worked. So we will try to improve as a team. And Rasmus and Josh and Rash will score more goals. Even Bruno has to score more goals. Ahmad has to be better near the goal. All these guys need to improve, and we can score so many goals. We don't need to. You are trying to. If I need a new striker to score goals, we need to improve as a team, and these players can score more goals.
Marcus scored 32 seasons ago, which was his career best, and he's slid since then. He's not even in the England setup. Can you see something in him that you can get him back to those levels?
Yeah, I will try to help him. That position is not the best one for him, especially in the game like that. We have to kick with high pressure. We have to kick the ball so many times, and he was like fighting with 2 giants. So we'll try to find the right solution for him as for the other players. But
interesting.
He has to be Marcus first of all to try to return to that moment.
Wow.
And then he will have the help of all the staff with all the club and all the fans because he's a Manchester United boy. But he has to be the first one to really want it.
Yeah, wow. What a bomb.
Yeah.
What a bomb.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, that's concluded the Ruben Amorim's press conference. So much to unpack, Mark. Even the crap questions was asked, and he was polite to answer them as articulate as possible. Key takeaway, what I remember at the end was, of course, British media going in about what the star boy Marcus Rashford, and he basically said Marcus needs to want him himself. It needs to be Marcus. Now, obviously, he said my interpretation was that certainly not fitting in that number 9 position. So we need to find a position for him, but he needs to want him himself. That was kind of the bomber. That was kind of the bomber truth.
I think that's completely fair because you can't do something for someone else. I mean, at the end of the day, when they are in the position, they have to do it themselves and they have to want to do it. I mean, things are going to be hard, like learning new languages, learning new ways to do things, learning new lifestyles, learning new countries. All these things are difficult, but you have to be able to do it. You have to be able to want it. Someone else can't want it for you. And that's the biggest thing. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from the press conference for me, because I think this mentality that he has will bode well for the young players we have, and a lot of the players. It will remind them of what they should be doing. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we have to be responsible for ourselves. Otherwise, I think the way he spoke about, his use of the formation, his use of the players, what he is trying, really, what he's going to try to do with the team in the space of the next few games by rotations and splitting the team into 2 teams that will play. Some players will play today, and then for the next 2 days, they will rest and have a mini training session. Then the next team will play, and so forth and so forth. I think that's an amazing idea. Like, I never thought about things like that. That's a unique way to rotate. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, that struck me too in terms of rest recovery. Like, he said the players that played in today's game will not train for 2 days, and basically the players that didn't play will train. So to minimize injuries and fatigue. They will train lightly, of course, maybe do some aqua gym and stuff like that, rest recovery. But it was quite good answers, like, and it was quite refreshing to hear. And even like, you know, how would you adapt to certain system? And Bruno was there to answer. Well, hang on, we international players, we play always in different systems when we go away in international breaks. We play in different, like, you know. So for me, it was kind of clear cut what he wanted, like, you know, and he was like, you know, some press trying to ping him down, like you spoke about Johnny Evans, you called certain players out. No, he just used examples, right? So I like the way that he's kind of articulated and explaining the situation, what he feels at the moment. But at the very end, it kind of felt a little bit of a pop at Rashford to say, like, Rashford, you need to be Rashford, right? You need to want it. And so far, we haven't seen him, you know, being that senior figure, because let's face it, Rashford is one of the senior figures in the dressing room. And is what you said, like, you know, the mood that you set in the dressing room will also affect the younger players.
100%. I mean, Rashford has been here 10 years. Same thing with Luke Shaw, you know. So it's one of those things where, for me, as a team, we are a team. And the younger players, or the players who just came into the club, the players that were there before them, will have a culture. And as a culture, they will get into in order to, you know, become part of the team. Now, whether it's negative or positive, or it have negative effects or positive effects, that's relative. But realistically, I think time for change is now. And if we're making all these drastic changes, then the squad needs to be hit drastically as well. So that means the players who've been here longer than 5 seasons plus should be gone. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, the system will be, I mean, he spoke about the system and the formation that, you know, the 3-4-3 might not always be the 3-4-3. I mean, there's been some leaks coming out in training out of possession, playing a 4-2-2, for instance, like, you know. The first question was about Leach and Harry are back in training, positive news. And he said, well, definitely Leach will be available. He's available, but not Harry, in a way. And about Lenny Euro was also positive, but the way we are handling the young star, we're not going to rush him in, what he said, like, you know, let him develop, let him heal. He's training, but we take a little bit more time. That seems to me that he's planning to use Lenny Euro as one of the key elements in his back three, right?
Well, if you look at Lenny's abilities, he's one of those players that doesn't rush to tackle players. He's one that kind of sweeps around and covers up the mess. So playing with players like Leacher and De Ligt, who are more those type of players that will go out at defenders to close them down, and he could be the one to just clean up anything that happened after that. And he's very mobile, good on the ball. You can only see it being that solution, you know, that was the solution that's going to happen. Now, it makes it difficult for the likes of Diego Dallo and you know, other guys like Luke Shaw and these guys, because, you know, Luke Shaw may not have the mobility. He may not be a player for the future. Dallo may have to learn a new position if he wants to get consistent game time. And it's going to be interesting to see how this works out, because, as he said, all the players will get game time, you know, so everybody will have a chance to play.
I think everyone will get game time, but if you look at the fixtures, like we're literally playing 2 games per week and up to New Year's, right? So Amorim was saying we must do it. We must rotate. We have internationals, we have players that played, and they are split in sets. So basically, like, he split the team up in 2 in sets, right? And of course, some players will play the Europa League or the Cup competition. Some people will be more focused on the Premier League, which I like. And they'll need to learn to play away, according to what he said as well. Like, you know, definitely it's going to take time. But also, he said also that we need to be adaptable. So we not always playing a 3-4-3, sometimes a 4-4-2, or I don't know. So it doesn't really necessarily have.
What he was explaining about that was that in the in-game, the 3-4-3 could turn into a 4-3-3 or 4-4-2, depending on the situation in game. But his principle, the structure of it, the 3-4-3, is what they need to learn, because they can't do multiple things if they don't know how to do that one thing well, because then there will be no default. So basically, you want to focus on his structure, and from then, when they learn that, then he will try to do different things. So I agree with that. I think that's fair, because Ten Hag was trying to do too much, and I think simplify it.
And he spoke about, like, you know, he spoke about now we focus on the build-up play. Like, of course, we had 2 training sessions, but now we have more training sessions under the belt. Everything will kind of flow into motion as soon as everyone was clicking to gear. But otherwise, it's information overload, and he doesn't want to do that. Question number 5 was like, what did you mean by the players and the manager had to take the blame? And Bruno explained like, well, you don't sack 15 players. The manager gets sacked. Everyone has to take responsibility in the department. It's absolutely like everyone needs to be accountable. How you press, he spoke how you press, how you defend, how you, and obviously like, yeah, I mean, come on. Amorim hasn't been there for far too long, and he's just getting started. Players need to sort of take instructions and listen, and 100%. There's going to be fast and furious up to New Year's, and as I said, like, we have Europa League, and then on Sunday we're playing Premier League, Everton at home as well. But one thing that he also spoke about is so important to get that feeling and the win the first game at Old Trafford, to get that mood going, the vibe going, the fans on board, and
needs
everything
a
else.
home win for the momentum.
Yeah.
That's important. That's important, And I think the way, it's one thing, I've been saying it for a little while, I think we need to focus on ourselves and what we have, what we can do, and try to figure out what we need to do to improve ourselves rather than focus what everyone else is doing around us. And I think the way Amorim is looking at things is that he's focusing in-house. He's focusing on the players that he have right now in this current moment. The transfer window is closed, so he's not thinking about any other foreign players that could come into the squad. He's thinking about who could I get the best out of here, based on what they're already offering me and what I could take from that and build upon. And then let's see, well, who has to stay, who has to go, and he might have a list and he might be adding to this list or removing from the list, or but by the time the summer, I think we'd have 5 to 7 players that will be walking out the door.
100%. This is the big. I mean, Mark, you could say that this is the biggest addition from most of the squad. Like, who will fit, who will adapt, and so far what I've seen, I mean, yeah, we saw young, Amad Diallo adapting quite quickly in training and doing the duties as a right wing back, and was quite surprised. So there was a big question in terms of match against Bodö Glimt, which we don't know much about. But Jarle is saying that Bodö is a great team, and Jarvis is saying
they're a good team.
Yeah, they're a good team. And he said something, well, they have tricky wing backs and everything. They do play with high intensity, so we do need to sort of run a lot. We need to press a lot, and we need to basically be on our toes. Bodö Glimt has a crucial game this weekend, apparently, says the manager. And therefore we will have... will they be rotating according to what the manager said? And yeah, Jarle, that is from Norway, said, well, they do have a league final this weekend. So maybe that could be true that they're rotating.
I just love what Amorim said to that. He was like, nope, I'm not thinking of what he said. I'm focused on my team. We need a home win for momentum. And that's what I am focused on. I'm focused on getting my players ready to compete with these guys. And that's all I'm focused on. And I think that's important because realistically, what the manager says and what the manager does, you can only react to that on game day. You know what I mean? And I think the best approach is to focus on what you're doing and deal with that, because you can only beat yourself. You know what I'm saying? And of course, these managers have their tactics, but if your tactics work well, you should score goals and win games. And I think that's how it should be.
Yeah, when it comes into the question number 10, when will this team be ready to play your system? And Amorim says pretty much like this: I cannot answer this question directly. It will take time and the players will suffer, but I will be there. I will be with them to help them. And it's a process. We must be honest and understand it will take time. True. But the question is then, will you then adapt, or will you stick to your principles? No, we're going to stick to a 3-4-3, and you guys need to learn with time. So that means that what is a suffer, that fans need to also suffer and be patient, that this season might be a little bit of a win games, lose games, draw games.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think a lot of the fans, I think it's going to be one of those things, because realistically, we're changing drastically from what we was doing last 2 seasons. You know what I mean? The positive is that this actually could be for the better, because when I look at the academy, we have lots of midfield talent, lots of wingers who could be converted into wing backs. You know what I mean? We have lots of good, decent centre backs coming through, like Kukonki and these guys, Oganai, these guys. So for me, when I look at it prospectively, it could be a very good masterstroke by Ineos. You know what I mean? Let's see how it goes. But definitely this season, keep your minds open to that. It's not going to be the best. You know, it could have bad performances. We could hold some L's. Hopefully we don't. And hopefully we get some good wins. And that's the way I'm looking at it right now.
Well, he certainly has an idea, his way to playing, but he's also very adaptable. What he said in answers to say, we must adapt slightly eventually, but I will play my structure and the power of it to be able to change between a 3-4-3 and a 4-3-3.
As in game.
As in game. In game, yeah. Right. And you know what? Off the ball, you got to work certain structure. We can see players like Mason Mount fitting in the number 10, like, you know, because last time we didn't press at all, like, you know, I think it was information overload. And when he said we worked in that training against Ipswich of the build-up play, but we didn't have time to do the rest. And that therefore kind of explains a little bit what happened against Ipswich, because players will look like confused. Yeah, they were good at the build-up, right? Playing up from the back and stuff like that. But when it came down to the pressing and how to find each other, they were like, they paused a bit and just like, whoa. Well, that was that moment where in the 1 minute and 33, where actually Amad Diallo was driving the ball in the byline and putting the ball into the cross, and Rashford did a tap in. That's what we want to see more of. But that will come with time, I guess.
Yeah, that's why he said that, you know, he spoke on both of them today, and he said that, you know, in one case for Amad, he needs to be better around the box. That will help him a lot in getting, you know, the output that he needs to keep getting starts. And it's the same thing with Rashford. You know, he's not too sure that the striking role is a role for him, you know, but he also said that Rashford needs to be the first person to want to improve, to want to be better, to want to play well. And this is why I think he does probably have the balls to drop Rashford, as Manu Tata is asking. But like Ricardo is saying, I would just remind everyone, you know, Ten Hag did buy a couple of these players, 11 of them, and is one of those things where I would look at it from the perspective, some of them might fit the system, some of them might not. We might have players before that, like Rashford, like Luke Shaw, who people think might fit the system, but it might not as well. So we have to look at it open-minded, because this is a squad rebuild. Realistically, the rebuild has been going on for the last 2 seasons. Really and truly, it really kicked off when Ineos come, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And now that they're here, I was hoping for it one way, but it going this way, and this way is patience, guys. Next 2 seasons, we should be seeing more of the idea, more of consistency. But for now, we got to see the idea more better. The idea.
Like fans, this might be us under narcosis at the moment, because what we see here right now is the open heart surgery, Ralph Rangnick happening. 100%, I would say so, like, you know. So you might be under narcosis, a little bit numb, and at the end of the day, like, you know, you might see players that are not fitting the new structure, the new change. Maybe this is needed to sort of tell you who is Man United player, not Man United player, who can play this change, right? Adaptation. Because Bruno was saying that, like, you know, for us senior players, it's not hard to adapt, right? But it's the younger players, right? And this is kind of what I'm getting at. You need leaders to sort of guide them. And Rashford being one of the senior prominent figures in the dressing room, if you have that body language, that's why he said, Rashford need to be Rashford. You need to be you. You need to want it, you know? So there's going to be competition for each places, but it comes down to footballing abilities. Can you do this? Can you have intensity? Can you run through brick walls? Because if 1 or 2 players let the team down, we lose the game, we lose intensity, and we drop tempo. That's been the far critique of Man United of the late, that we are kind of scoring 1 goal and we're inviting pressure and we're just taking the foot off the gas. And football is 90 minutes and needs to be pedal to the metal.
100%. I think like this, you know, I see Bruno playing more in a deeper role. I see it turning out, maybe, you know, you might see the likes of Bruno next to Ugarte or something like that eventually, because to be fair, that's how it is at Sporting. Sporting is really have a 8 and a 6 and a 8-10 or 8-10 kind of player up front with a winger. So it might be interesting to see how it goes. I would think, you know, it will be something that we had to be open to seeing what happens and what changes. We still have Kobe Menu, still have Dango Jr., still have lots of young talent as well. So it will be a change.
You kind of treat it, you know, in a way it feels like we treat it like a mini preseason, like when you have a new manager and kind of coming in experiment where certain players will fit. Like, you know, when Bruno dropped deeper next to Ugarte, that might work, that might not work. You know what I mean? But one thing that didn't work was Rashford as a number 9. And one thing that he says, like, you know, we need more time and talent. And he basically said, like, Amorim, they have a culture of winning, and they like to win, and they play attacking and intense football.
As we were talking about
yeah,
Bodö Glimt.
Yeah, that was the Bodö Glimt, yeah. So in a way, we just need to go in and, you know, assess it. Like, you know, I have no expectations. What do we expect from tomorrow's game? Do you expect, like, you know, to see?
I expect a win still. I don't care how we win, but I expect a win. I mean, I'm gonna be in the stadium, so we probably definitely not gonna lose. You know, so hopefully we get a win. It don't have to be a big win for me. 2-1, 1-0, 3-1, 3-2. I take in a win, and as long as we win, we move on to Sunday, because right now it's all about one game at a time, getting as much points as possible, picking up points where we can. And, you know, there will be tougher games because, you know, Man City coming up, Arsenal coming up. Yeah, we need these little points now to help us.
Yeah. No, and the way we do it is he kind of gave an answer, a real little bit of a keys that, you know, rotation and give rest recover. So those players that playing tomorrow will not train for 2 days. And the ones that didn't play will train intensity, right? So
100.
that kind of balance it out. Like, you know, you will still do some training, some light jogging and some ball work and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it will bode well, because I think, you know, it's probably a way of keeping them training into the system. You know, might not be an intense one every day, but for those who could have the intense system, it will work. You know, that kind of light and hard. You know, easy and soft and hard, easy and light. You know, easy and difficult. It should make it. It should make it that, you know, fun way to learn something new. You know, I looking forward to see the players' reactions. I mean, we did see a lot of posts from the players over the last 2 weeks about they're so enjoying training sessions now, and it's really interesting to them, and it's really informative and all these things. I want to see that translate onto the pitch. You know, all these niceties and words is all good and okay and nice for the press, nice for the Instagram. I want to see the performances on the pitch to back up those words from those players saying those things.
Final question that resonated with me was in terms of we're not scoring many goals, we're not sticking up front as at the moment. And he basically said, well, in order to, would you get a new striker? He said, well, really, in order to have a striker, you need to service the striker. You need more creativity, you know.
100%.
In a way, kind of. He didn't say that quote by quote, but that's what he said. Like, I look what I have. But in order to sort of score goals, everyone needs to work as a team and create for the strikers.
Yeah, you need to create for each other as a team. Somebody had to score the goal, and the object is to put the person in the best possible position to score the goal. And you know, that is all I could say, to be honest. Because for me, honestly, I feel like United deserve to get a win. 2 wins this week.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? We also, this is me. We need to have patience and give him time, because, you know, I already know, you know, there will be difficult games, but I also know there will be good wins, and I'm here for it as a United fan. I think Bruno will do much better than a lot of people think. You know what I mean? He give it time. You know, the Hollywood passes is not a bad thing to make a 1 or 2 passes over the top of a game. Man City does it. Liverpool does it. Lots of teams does it. Real Madrid does it. You know, I think this, you know, we can't play on the ground. Like, English football is not ground football. It's usually balls over the top. So this ground football thing, you know what I mean? I think mix and matching football on the pitch, not just passing on the ground all the time.
We need runners in that case. We need runners, and that's the lack of intensity. So if ball goes over the top, you need runners to run the channels.
We had Rashford, and he don't make the runs. So I think we need more intelligent footballers, because if you have a player who read in the game, when they look at some teams, right, they could see the chemistry in the team because they could see that they're reading each other, right? They're reading off of, I know this guy when I give him the ball and I make this run, he gonna move from this player, look for me and find me with this ball over the top, or find me with a pass on the ground. So it's like, you know, players need to work together. And some of the players is pass the ball and then stand and watch to see what's going to happen rather than make a move. And that is why some players look worse than they really are, to be fair.
Right. So it's game by game and building up the partnership in order to score. Like, one thing that we haven't seen from United is the creativity. Like, the goal scoring opportunities is gone, right? It's really gone. It's just pretty much been a slugfest in the midfield and not really getting up to the final third. And when we get up to the final third, we look a little bit clueless. Like, there's no chemistry whatsoever going on. In terms of the fixtures, Mark, let's bring this to the stage for everyone. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Finger that like button, please. Right now, right here. There's over 200 of you watching. If you get over 100 likes, Mark will do a chicken dance.
Nope, I'm actually leaving right in like 1 minute.
Yeah. Before we wrap up the stream, of course, we're playing tomorrow, Bodö Glimt. We have 2 home games. And there should be enough time for the big audition, Arsenal away. So you can guys see that we're playing 3 games, 2 games a week. We're playing on Thursday, Bodö Glimt tomorrow, and then Sunday, Everton at home. This should be 2 wins at home at Old Trafford, and to get some confidence, to get some momentum. And Arsenal, in my opinion, it's not the Arsenal of last season. Arsenal can be beaten. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal last night, they destroyed Sporting. It's funny that you say that about Arsenal today. If Arsenal had lost or drawn against Sporting, I would say we are in more chances. But we need Arsenal to at least lose the next game or draw a game within these next 2 games that they have to play as well, because they won last night huge, 5-1, I believe it was.
But was it because of lack of Ruben Amorim being there? Like, they actually was the first.
I mean, I can't say that because 2 weeks before, that same team beat Man City 5-1. So, listen, now while the manager not there, players, if you can't tell me 1 week you beat Man City 5-1 and then you go lose to Arsenal 4-1, that 5-1, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because of the manager. Now, I think the players have to take full responsibility for that game. They were poor. I think there were some instances in the game they were poor, and they let the game, the climate of the game get to them, the atmosphere get to them, because they were at home, but it feels like Sporting was away.
Yeah. Arsenal don't have the creativity to do something original. Even they were copying Gyökeres, goal scoring celebration by instead of doing.
Well, he was just doing that to this Gyökeres, to be fair. Gabriel is that kind of guy that he is like a villain, and he likes to do those things. So my thing is, the next time we go to Arsenal, if we could be the villains and make it look good, it would be nice. But
okay,
we have to go, guys, because I have to get ready to go to class, and I have to pack for tomorrow because I have to travel.
Big up Mark for coming in, guys. Thank you, Mark. Any final words? What's your score prediction?
Tomorrow, United Bodö Glimt 3-1. United win. I'll go with a Ruby special for tomorrow. I just feel like that might be a good scoreline. Yeah, but I will say this much. Anthony starting tomorrow. First goal and assist coming from that brother tomorrow.
You haven't given up on Anthony Dos Santos.
No, not at all, because you'll see why. In this system, man, them will understand why I didn't give up on Anthony Dos Santos. Watch. Just remember, I tell man them early. Big up to everybody. Have a wonderful day. Big up to all of you guys. Obrigado to Ricardo. And I'll catch you guys later. Big up to
Thank you, Mark.
Guys,
Thank you.
M&M show. Back to the M.
Back to the peanut M&M.
M leaves.
Big up, Mark, and thank you for coming in, guys. Just want to remind you to smash that like button, please, if you're watching on Mark's channel as well. Like, guys, at the end of the day, like, what Ruben Amorim said, it is game by game. Like, it's going to be a very painful experience. We have to be under narcosis because the open heart surgery is happening right in front of our eyes. Certain players will fit the system. Certain players will be rotating. We have, after Bodö Glimt, we have Everton at home on Sunday. As you can see, then we're going away to the Arsenal for the big showdown. And after that, we're playing another home game against Nottingham Forest. So you can see it's like 1st December, 4th December, 7th of December. And after that, we're playing another Europa League, Pleasant, on the 12th of December. 15th December, Man City away and the crumbling Pep Guardiola. Will we turn Pep Guardiola into a straitjacket on that game? Will it be the flying off the cuckoo's nest straight into the mental hospital? We will see. Furthermore, also, what are we doing after that? Well, we have Spurs away on the 19th. Revenge. Finishing off on the 22nd of December, a home game against Bournemouth, and then Wolves away, and finishing off the year with Newcastle at home. So I would say that it is winnable games, I would say. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your score prediction for tomorrow. We're currently sitting 12th in the league, 16 points. And all I can say, it's not an identity crisis. We are trying to find our identity. We are trying to find our intensity. I like this press conference, what Bruno was saying there, together with Ruben, to say that we are splitting up in 2 teams, 2 camps. The ones that played yesterday will try a little bit lighter, but it's about finding momentum. And we have Compass Smurfs to saying 3-1 to Man United. 3-1. I believe that we're going to concede. I like Andrew Onana at the moment. He is the goalkeeper that we signed. He's going to play a pivotal role, especially if we play 3 in the back. He would be the 4th centre-back. So I go also with a 3-1 to Man United, I would say. But a clean sheet would be amazing. Honest to God, we're playing at home. Floodlights, Old Trafford. We'll be there covering it, the watch-along as per usual. But if I had a punt, I say it's going to be, okay, a 3-1 United. I think Højlund scoring potentially, and Leach will start. I think Leach will start together with De Ligt. It's going to be difficult to say. I'm not going to predict the team, so we will just take it as it is tomorrow when the lineup come out. Ricardo Pereira, what you're saying is, sorry, but there's intensity without authenticity, but that's your belief. Big up. Maguire is almost back to save us, but no. Anyway, thank you, beautiful people, for tuning in for the second live stream of today. If you missed out the early morning show with me, myself, and Sal Warner from Stretford Postcode, check it out. We covered the Man City madness, the 115 charges, plus some transfer news. We are even linked to, according to the papers, with Kwicha Kvaratskhelia as well. Guys, let me know what you think. If you're watching this in retrospective, do not forget to like and subscribe. And we're out of here. See you till next time. Glory, glory, Man United. And don't let Pep Guardiola crumble.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.